Archer and the Devil.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people around the world, welcome to episode 29 of the Archer and the Devil podcast. Not the other way around.
Not the Devil and Archer show.
No, the Archer and the Devil podcast.
You got a bit upset about that.
Very much so. It's like deck in hand. You just wouldn't do it.
That's true, actually. Saying like
See
that's
what I mean?
fucking weird.
Doesn't happen. Pepper and salt. It's salt and pepper. Always. Vinegar and... Do you want vinegar and salt on your chips?
All right.
No. I want salt and vinegar.
All right. I was just trying something new.
Well, we don't like change.
I like change.
Not on this podcast.
Tradition is the enemy of progress.
The answer's still no. It is what it is,
Fair,
and it's staying that way.
Well,
That's the end. No.
We've had the conversation.
No.
Decisions have been made. But I do like how at the end of that, we proved that this was my idea.
Yeah, I mean, you showed
The worst thing
part
was...
of the conversation.
No, I said the whole... That was all of it. The worst part was on the podcast, you even said, I think you said this, and then I went, yeah. And I'm like, you just said I said it. But anyway.
We didn't go...
I
We
digress.
can't travel back in time.
We can't.
It's all well and good having it on a text, but I'm pretty sure there was a phone call.
Gotta keep them receipts.
I'm pretty sure there was a phone call where I said, we could just call it Arch and the Devil.
No, that wasn't what
I
happened.
Liked that. And then I went afterwards. I don't think I liked that.
That wasn't...
And
Yeah,
then
but that
you
was after I suggested it.
And then you said, let's just call it Arch and the Devil. And I went, oh, all right then.
You quit it twice this week as well.
Of what?
You quit twice this week.
Yeah. It's pissing me off.
But let's get past that.
It's pissing me off.
So-
Not the podcast, YouTube.
YouTube's pissing you off.
pissing
So
me
it's like,
off.
I quit, and then half an hour after, I'm back. Wasn't the same without you.
I don't like it.
Wasn't the same with
I
that,
don't
And-
like success.
And the Devil wasn't as good a name.
No, it's worse than Devil and Archer. The problem is, because each podcast is doing better and better, it's getting harder and harder
To get better and better.
to get better and better.
Yeah.
It's like, I want... The
Triple green.
way YouTube works is you have a benchmark of your previous video,
He's talking to you, not to me. I know
and
this.
then when your new video comes out,
Yeah.
depending on how long, so 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, it will give you a comparison to the previous video.
Yeah.
And the goal is... Stop. The goal is to have triple green, which is on views compared to the last one, average view time,
Minutes
average viewed minutes
for the last one.
to the last one, and view. Is it view duration?
I think it's clicks.
I can't remember, but either way. But if you get 3 green arrows, you get a triple green advert.
You're doing good. It's where you want to go.
Triple green video, which
How
is
you
good.
want to go.
And then also it'll tell you what out of 10 your video is compared to your previous 10.
And our last podcast was 4 out of 10.
Then it went up to 3,
Then it
and
was
that's as high as it went,
Yeah.
because and it wouldn't go any higher because I haven't even checked it now. It probably is.
I haven't checked it.
Let me check. Let's see if it's a 1 of 10. But
Don't check it now because you're going to bum yourself
no,
out
I
for the
want
rest of the
to
podcast.
check. I want to check. It's fine.
But yeah, so he gets upset. And I'm always like,
Still 3 of 10.
Don't be a victim of your own success. Like, it's going to get harder because you're going to average out. The higher it gets, the more difficult it's going to get that high again.
What number are we on now? 29.
This is 29.
So
It's 28.
it's currently 3 of 10 due to views from the first 4 days. And
Well,
11
the
hours.
last 2 of the last 3 have hit 100 views.
Yeah,
now.
well,
and
we
then
are.
that's not including all the downloads as well. And the downloads are up by 17%.
We're 9 views down from episode 27.
9 of you motherfuckers out there, I'm going to find you
But
and I'm going to lick
it's
you.
average view duration and watch time in minutes.
And licking you is bad now
And
because of
both of them.
COVID.
Both of them are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Our average view duration, you guys actually watching it, is up to 36 minutes per podcast, which is 50%.
Considering just us talking bullshit,
You were watching it on average for 36 minutes
you're
at
all
once,
apart from the 9 of you.
which is incredible. And also
You're
the
sexy
watch time
bastards.
in minutes is up, like, across everything. Is up nearly double again. So everyone's
Smashing
just,
it.
Everyone is just, it blows my mind that people like care that much. Like, it really does. I don't know. It's
But-
weird.
I digress. It's snowing.
Oh, okay. Well, we've moved on then.
We've moved on.
Right.
And the reason we're moving on is because it probably won't be snowing by the time this comes out, but it's snowing a fuck ton today.
Yes.
And I have noticed on the roads that a lot of people don't know how to drive in the snow for a start.
We're going into Old Man Devil right now.
We are.
Dad devil.
Dad devil. Dad devil. Daddy devil. And also, if you are going to drive, because you need to drive, and it snowed a lot, and you have like a few inches of snow on your car, don't just make that square in your windscreen.
That's what I did.
So you can see out of it.
I did.
Sweep off all of the snow off your entire vehicle.
I did. Mine's a big car. I couldn't
Don't
be bothered.
care.
I
don't
literally,
care.
it pissed me off. I lowered the window, right, just enough to like get the snow off it. So when I put it back up,
You
it
could
was
see-
going to be a clear bit at the top.
Did you actually do this?
Yeah, but it mugged me off because for some reason the car thought that there was something blocking the window.
Right.
So it went down. I stopped it. I flicked the button to go back up. It thought somebody's arm was in the window
So it
and went
wouldn't
all the way
close.
down, and all the big wall of
deserve
snow fell onto my passenger seat and on in the footwell.
That happened to me though last month.
Really, I just left it there.
Last month, I was on my way here and it snowed, and I opened my car door, put my engine on, didn't get in my car, put my window wipers on,
Yes.
just straight down.
See, I remember that story, and I didn't do what you did because of that. And
but
I
what
thought-
you did was worse.
which was, well, it could know because there was way more snow on the windscreen than what there was in the
Yeah,
window.
but it's only one windscreen wiper's worth if you think about it.
Yeah, but it's a lot
It's
more.
still a lot. It was a lot.
But it also would have probably only gone on my door and not all on my seat and everywhere else that it went.
Yeah, I do need to keep. Cause all I've got is my little scraper, and I had a t-shirt in my boot.
A t-shirt?
So I used that just to
Oh my God.
get all my snow off there.
People use a brush and shit.
But when,
don't
I
they?
know,
But-
yeah, but when you're driving and someone, especially because the thing is, if it freezes, because if you're driving, just say you drive for an hour,
gets cold.
It gets cold and then it freezes, and then if it flips off, it's just going to
Wagons are quite bad for it.
absolutely.
All flies
So,
off the roof. They can't scrape their roof though.
public service announcement: sweep your car.
Also, don't drive in the middle lane like a bell end.
And also, if you can't drive in snow, just don't.
Yeah, just don't.
don't.
That's the biggest thing.
Don't.
If you look outside and go, I don't fancy that. Same as in the rain.
Yeah.
If you can't drive in the rain, just don't.
Yeah.
Just stay in the house.
Yeah.
Give everyone else a
fine.
break. Just don't do it.
Like it has to be. It's like, especially, it's just one of those things where if you're not confident, that's going to show.
Yes.
If you don't know which way to turn, if your car's sliding, don't drive.
I haven't. When did it even snow properly last where it affected the roads?
I wasn't here. It was when the beast from the
Couple
east
of years
came
ago,
over.
weren't it?
I was in North
Well,
America.
supposedly the Beast from the East 2 is coming the end of this month.
I think it's 3 now, isn't it? I think there was 2 that year,
Oh, is it?
but it might sort of be. I wasn't
Well,
here, so I don't know.
if it's this or if it's not the end of the month yet or if it was the beginning of Feb, but supposedly more cold weather is coming. You
I
heard
like
it.
the snow.
You heard it here first.
How do you feel about snow?
Breaking news. I love the snow.
I love the snow.
I love the snow.
I get
don't-
proper. I get like childish when I see the snow.
I don't go out and play in it.
I'd like to, but I
some
didn't
people
today.
do.
I'm going to go to the woods tomorrow and build a snowman.
Like you do.
I'll-
You won't
yeah.
go up the woods and build a snowman tomorrow because there'll be no snow tomorrow.
Don't say that.
It'll all be gone.
It's snowing right now.
Not really.
It's not forecast rain between now and then.
Yeah, but it's
So as long
also-
as it doesn't melt.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's going to be much left. I think you're going to be disappointed. I don't want you to go up there, all the way up there, thinking I'm going to build a snowman, and then that happens. You know what I mean? I'd hate for you to be a
You're a
sad
dream
little
crusher.
devil.
You're a dream crusher
Well, I'm just saving you now,
from having the hope.
but rather than go to all that effort and
End
you
up there.
still get massively disappointed.
That's true.
Because then you're just going to be stomping around the woods in anger, like, where's all the fucking snow?
I appreciate you.
You know what I mean? I'm just
Correct.
looking out for you.
I appreciate
Just
that.
looking out for you. That's all
I
I'm
do
doing.
appreciate that.
I also had cider this week after our podcast last week.
I only have 1 beer, so I've had to drink
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
because I didn't want to drive to get
What
beer.
film's that?
I didn't know what you said.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I don't know.
Talladega Nights.
I thought it was going to be
two kids.
Will Ferrell. I nearly said semi-pro.
I watched that the other day.
It's fucking
for
awesome.
the first time.
It's so
I've
good.
never seen it before.
It's really good.
It's pretty funny.
Like it's not like it's no one's favorite film, but
It's pretty funny.
It's a good hour.
I
and a
can't
half.
believe. I'll tell you what else I watched. That Eurovision. Have you seen that?
It's fucking awful.
Really?
It's fucking awful.
Are you doing it? TikTok. It's pretty funny.
I watched it.
TikTok.
I only watched it because it was based like they're Icelandic. And I lived in
Yeah,
Iceland.
yeah. Ding dong. It's pretty funny.
It wasn't that
It
funny.
is pretty funny.
It wasn't that funny.
But
I actually thought not only was it not funny, it was a piece of shit.
I don't think I watched the very beginning. I think I might have watched.
I only watched it because it's based in Iceland or they're Icelandic, so I figured Iceland will be in there, which it wasn't. I was like, oh, I've been there. Oh, I lived there. Oh, that's nice. But once that novelty of seeing Iceland wore off,
I mean, there's not that much of it, is there?
so it wore off very quickly, right? Then I was just like watching a piece of shit film.
It wasn't a piece of shit film. It's not on a true story, I'm guessing. It's not. Oh no, because they all blow up on a boat, so it's not. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's
that makes more sense now.
It happened exactly like that.
Yeah, that makes more sense now. No, but it's
Rachel McAdams is hot though.
Which one's that?
The woman.
What's her name?
Rachel McAdams.
I honestly can't remember what she looks like.
She's the woman.
I was too busy looking at Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell.
He is rad. He does.
I don't really think he's done a bad film. Even the shit films are not bad.
That's a bad film.
No, it's not.
That is a bad. It's not one of his. I think later in his career, like Anchorman era, everything was gold.
I wasn't a big fan of Anchorman.
I avoided it for years.
I know I did. I was way into Step Brothers more.
Step Brothers is phenomenal.
Step Brothers is what kind of got me into Will Ferrell.
I still remember
banging on about Anchorman. And
I probably shouldn't tell the story, but I don't care. I went to a wedding.
Okay.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to go, but I went. I didn't work all day.
Got to say whose wedding it was.
No. I'll tell you after.
Do I know him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Put a suit on.
What if I guess? Will you tell me then?
No. Went to the wedding. And I got there. It was like an evening thing. It was. I want to tell you when it was as well because it really adds to the story. But it's very obvious of who it was. Then, if they do listen, it was on Halloween. Fuck it, right?
I thought you were just gonna say like it was in the summer. But
it was on Halloween.
Pretty fucking specific.
It was on Halloween.
Okay,
right. So I'm thinking beforehand: do I dress up? Do I not? What kind of? Who gets married?
Do I go as a slutty nurse?
I look like this, and I wouldn't get married on Halloween. You know what I mean? But I'm like, slutty nurse.
That's usually what Halloween costumes are.
Wouldn't have been my go-to.
If you go into town on a Halloween night, it's full of slutty nurses.
That's true. Well, I fittingly had some devil horns. So
Standard.
I had my suit and I put them in my pocket.
Was that your phone then? Is it not on silent?
Nope. My sister.
Fucking unbelievable.
Sending me pictures of my niece.
At least one of us is professional.
Well, yeah. So I put my suit on, I go to the wedding, I get there at like 8 p.m.
You didn't have your devil horns, you just let them grow out.
That's what happened. I moved my hair aside.
Correct.
So, well, my hair's up now, so you'll be able to see if they were there, but they're tucked into it. See the bride, congratulate her, she smashed.
Is she wearing black?
Yes.
Okay.
Speak to her for all of...
Do I know him?
Yes, I'll tell you after. Speak to him for all of 2 minutes. And then there's an announcement from the stage that she's wanted. And she's like, bear with me. And
what, by the police?
No, by the DJ.
Oh.
She goes
Was
up.
he the police?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. He might have been in the police.
Parking warden.
With Sting and the other two. So
it's a bit of a come down. Was
she
in the
goes
police,
off.
now he's a wedding DJ.
I've been at this wedding for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I went to the bar and went and spoke to her for a minute and a half, right?
Spoke to her, found out she's a wanted felon.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she goes
to prison.
Gets a microphone.
Oh, okay.
And then serenades her husband.
What? Wait, what?
She sings.
Then did she get arrested then?
She should have done. You know when you feel embarrassment for somebody else? Like when you're embarrassed for another human being.
I hope for your sake, whoever's wedding this is.
It was a rendition of Four Non-Blondes, What's Up?
I don't know that song.
You would know it.
Okay.
The lyrics,
I think I do.
The lyrics were changed.
Right.
And she's singing to her husband, who is very much looking like, what have I done? Is it too late for me to leave?
What have I done to deserve this?
But honestly, and then he gets pushed forward. And then they start slow dancing while she's singing to him. And I remember texting all of my friends about it. And one of them was like, was she good? And I was like, it was a fucking Catalina wine mixer. That was the only way I could describe. Literally.
Bolts and holes.
That was the only legitimate way I could describe what I just witnessed.
Just a slow drum roll
And
in the background.
But you know, at the end, when everyone was like cheering, it wasn't that. It was a... yeah.
Well, that was unexpected. Yeah, won't forget this wedding.
I didn't stay long. Needless to say.
I was struggling to figure out where Step Brothers was coming into that story.
No, it was a Catalina wine mixer.
And now I get it.
Yeah, honestly, don't sing.
The Catalina wine mixer was
phenomenal. It's so good. But I mean, the context of what the fuck just happened.
Okay, I'm with you.
It was the only way I could describe what I just witnessed.
I would like to apologise if you are listening. Whoever's wedding that was.
I don't think she is.
Just want to point out that they are the feelings of the devil and not of the Archer and the Devil show as a whole.
That's true. You weren't there.
If you do want to send any complaints in, send them to,
Send them to me.
the devil at thearcherandthedevil.com.
That's not a thing. Don't send anything there. We won't get it.
archandthedevil@gmail.com. Subject heading, the devil's a dick.
FAO, the devil. Right.
Don't CC me in.
Don't CC me.
Don't care. Have you ever CC'd anyone in on anything?
Only when I used to work at a call center.
I also found out that BCC means it's secret, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like
so they're in, but the additional people can't see who it is.
How fucking backwards is that? So, like, if you reply like a snotty email thinking it's just between you two, and then the whole fucking company sees it, you'd be like, oh, fuck.
Well, no, but that's why you put people in CC initially. If I ever put CC in, it's because basically it was like, I'm insulting you and I want to make sure that you see it.
Yeah, but if it's like a secret, go, look at this, I'm going to wind him up. Watch him bite.
Yeah.
Few trigger words.
The thing
secretly
is, they're all,
BC someone
like,
in.
I worked in it wasn't a call center, it was more like a help center for 10 months. It's the worst job I've ever had. If you work in an office, more power to you. But
I've always wondered what it's like working in an
fucking
office.
bullshit. It's such bullshit.
Is it not just like a sex fest? That's how I imagine it.
Not with the women that I saw working there. Like some of them, a couple of them were hot, and I have to say that because I'm friends with them. But like the rest of them, no.
I've always wondered.
It's proper. Like it's one of those. You know, if anyone ever says to you, "We're like a family," straight away I'm like, "Family's dysfunctional. I don't want to be part of your family." All that means is I have to do things for you.
Is that what they said in the office?
When I had the interview, I went there. I won't say what the company was, but I had my interview.
Why?
Just because I've got friends who still work there and stuff.
Oh,
like
they
that.
still work there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I had my interview. They put you on the phones for half an hour first.
It was McDonald's.
It wasn't McDonald's. So people calling because they've got a technical problem with their
McDonald's. Yeah.
Their hamburger isn't burgering correctly.
Yeah, correct.
So they'll call in and say,
burger.
I've got a 40 burger.
Yep.
The burger's not burgering.
It's
properly.
just not hammy enough.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no ham in my hamburger.
No.
So we go.
Worst type of burger.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah.
They
like,
say,
no.
Then we can't help you anymore. So I listened in on the calls and stuff like that.
Did you have pickles on it? Yeah, it's your own fucking fault.
That's your own fucking fault.
You know what I mean?
And then they go downstairs and there was like, I'm not sure if they were just like trying to find it as an excuse to not be at work, but there's 10 members of management and staff, like upper staff, in the interview. And there's 4 people going for the job. And I'm like, oh, so we're all just in the same room then. That's just what's happening now.
What? So your job interview is you're all in there together?
Everyone. So there's I don't think the CEO was in there, but like my team manager was in there. So and 3 other team managers, then their manager, then the floor manager, then the supervisor, then the technical manager. And I'm like, why do you all need to be in here?
And the other applicants.
And the other applicants, there's 4 of us.
Was Ronald McDonald in there as well?
He was, the Hamburglar was. Fuck. Ronald was off doing some important shit somewhere. So honestly, and I'm straight away, I'm walking in this room and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I've never had an interview like this before in my life. Right?
What?
And they're
so
all
you
going
have to big up yourself
in front of everyone and the other people who are going for the job.
So so if someone does a really good info, you're sitting there going, fuck, I've got no chance.
Especially if they say what you were going to say.
Yeah. So I'm like him.
Yeah.
Basically, but better looking. I don't know.
Right, literally, right?
That's about it.
That's all I've got going for me. I'm brown and they're not, so you have to employ me because otherwise I'll blame. I wouldn't ever, by the way.
Listen, if you want to tick that box,
I don't believe in affirmative
sign me
action in that sense. But so they have their little speech bit first, and they kind of like introduce and hi, I'm Joe, and blah blah blah. I've got 4 kids and 2 dogs, and I like walking. Like, how is this anything to do with the job? But I don't care about what your fucking kids do. All I'm here for is for you to tell me how much you're going to pay me, and then that's it. Tell me when I have to be here, when I have to leave, and outside of that, I do not give a fuck about any of you.
And what's mandatory that I actually have to do?
I don't know. I don't care about that because I ignore those things. So you weren't meant to wear shorts, and I wore shorts every single.
Give me the job title and how much of that can I bend?
Right, and I did. I bent all of it. My friend who worked there for 2 years and still works there now. She used to always like, how do you get away with this shit? Like, I wanted a window seat and I used to sit in the aisle. So one day I was just like, I want that window seat. And she's like, you can't. I was like, I want that window seat. And she was like, what to our manager? I was like, I'm leaving it with you, make it happen.
Was there anyone else sit there?
Yeah. Not for long. Got the window seat.
I bet you played the race card then.
I didn't.
I bet you did.
I didn't. I promise. I swear, hands down, I've never, ever. I don't have a race card. I want to make one. Just have
throw it on the floor
in my wallet and be like,
you know what that is?
Now what, bitch?
You know what that is, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's a do anything and get away with it card.
Right. But no, I didn't. But we used to have like a non-uniform thing on Fridays as well. So I just dressed like this, like shorts, t-shirt, whatever. And one day, like 4 weeks in, my manager was like, you can't wear shorts. And I'm like, are you telling me I can't wear shorts, or is the company policy you can't wear shorts? And they're like, what's the difference? And I'm like, well, if it's company policy, then I just don't know it. If you told me, then I have to pay attention. So, well, it's company policy. I'm like, cool, so you haven't seen me in shorts, and just carried on. And it got to the point where they'd send out emails to the person wearing shorts. Can you not? But no one had the balls to ever come to me and just say, you can't wear shorts. It was.
Well, I mean, he did.
No,
tried.
He said you're not meant to wear shorts.
Oh, you're not meant to?
Yeah, he was like, you're not meant to wear shorts to work. And I was like, that's why I said, are you telling me I can't?
And he said, no, it's company policy. And you went, well, you haven't seen me in shorts.
Right, exactly, yeah. So my manager was like, are you wearing shorts? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I did not care. I used to try and get fired from this job. Well, let me tell the interview bit first, right? So I had the interview. And we go in. And they've all gone around introducing themselves. I'm just like, I honestly wanted to walk out. But I was
sounds like a fucking rehab, like an AA meeting.
It was the fucking worst place. I don't know if all office jobs are like this, but this was only 2019. So I worked there. It was only like a couple of years ago. And so we had the interview. We were all sitting around. And I was the last person they asked. I remember beforehand, my girlfriend at the time was just like, just be yourself. Like, you got this, you'll be fine. And I wasn't going to be myself because you've met me.
Yeah.
In a room of professionals.
No fucking would
No chance, right? But they start asking everyone, like, what have you done before and what do you think you could bring to the company? And they're giving that very textbook answer, which is what I'd already prepared for. But between the three of them, and these are three women, so they're all, one was younger than me, the other two were like in their 40s and 50s. They've given every boring textbook answer possible. By the time it comes down to me, I'm like, I can't give another one of these bullshit answers. So I was like, honestly, I don't know fuck all about your company. I didn't say fuck all, but I was like, I don't know anything about your company. All I want is, I've been traveling for 3 years and I want to save to buy a house. And this seems like a good place where I can save money. And I was like, the job doesn't seem that difficult. I generally pick up things quite quickly. And yeah, just kind of like...
I'm guessing you weren't that bothered about getting a job.
I wanted to walk out. The only reason I didn't walk out the interview was because I've got a couple of mates who work there, and one of them kind of like put my name forward for it, so I don't want to make it look bad on her. So I'm thinking, just fuck it. Like, if they give it me, cool. I literally went in makeup, my hair was down, I had jeans on, Doc Martens undone, my jeans tucked into them, and a black shirt on, because I had to look somewhat smart, right? Yeah. And then at the end, they do the whole thing. I was like, does anyone have any questions? And I was like, you know what? You explained everything that thoroughly. There's not possibly anything I could even ask. And then left. They were like, thank you for your time, blah, blah, we'll let you know. And I'm thinking, I'm never hearing of these people. It took me 15 minutes to drive home. And as soon as I pulled up, I had a phone call saying, you got the job, they loved you.
Really?
And I'm like, what? But after that, my manager, who was called Carol, was like, I fought to have you on my team. And I was like, that just means I can get away with anything.
Did you say that to her?
Honestly, I used to call her. She came in one day with the top of her hair tied up. She was blonde, and the rest of it down. So I was like calling her Legolas because she looked like Orlando Bloom. I used to call her work mom, like she was mom. I still call her mom. It was her birthday a couple of months ago, and said happy birthday, mom. Like I still call her mom now. But I used to just give her shit all the time. But I think because everyone else there was so serious and so of that mindset of being in the office, like I just didn't care. So I tried to get fired every single day, and the reason they fired me in the end was, so I didn't mean to tell this story, but it's just that's the story that's happened now. Like honestly, I used to swear on the phone to customers.
Give them free shit and all sorts and everything.
Honestly, just like one customer rang up screaming. I was like, stop shouting at me. Like, stop fucking shouting at me. And she was complaining about a problem, and she was like, I keep emailing through and I keep getting this response. I'm like, well, stop emailing. If you had a response, just wait for a reply. It's like, because it's just an auto response. The more you email in, the more you're going to get these fucking emails.
And if that's pissing you off, probably best to stop doing it.
So I was like, what's the problem? She kept shouting at me, I want to speak to somebody else. I'm like, no, you'll speak to me. And then you can see other people's head peering up the phone screens. Like, fuck, what's he doing?
No,
and
what's he doing now?
Yeah, right. And then she was like, I want to speak to a manager. I'm like, cool. I'll pop you on hold. One moment, please. I put her on hold. And I'm like, does anyone want to take this crazy bitch? And there was one dude there called Levi, and he was I'd never heard him talk. I worked there for 6 or 7 months at this point, never heard him speak. And he was like, I'll take it. I'm like, cool. So pass it over to him. One moment, please. Put him through. And I carry on doing shit, and then everyone's Skyping me, like, what call have you just given to Levi? Because he's screaming, and I've never heard his voice. And I was like, that's my bad. I might have rolled her up a bit. But then, so when it finally came to fire me, we had a meeting about, just basically, they were going through this whole protocol of you had to go through all these, like PowerPoint presentations and stuff, and just at the end of it agree. So basically all it is that
Compliance.
So you can't sue them. That's all it ever is. If you ever do health and safety or anything, they don't want you to work that way. They just want you to sign it. So if you injure yourself, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Because they've taught you. You can rarely work at that standard because you'll be too slow for them anyway. So we've had to fill out all these compliance forms. Then we have a meeting about it. And they've just changed all the systems and stuff like that. And that company, everything was made in China, but they were advertised as a British company. It was produced in Britain. So I bring that up in the meeting and I'm like, do you not? Because if you're talking about transparency between staff and company, then do you not feel like you should have the same level of transparency with customers? So is that not misleading people to say that you make things in Britain if they're all made in China? And you can see you had a minute and thought about it and give me a bullshit answer. And I was like, okay, fine. He's like, oh, so you agree? I was like, no, but I understand what your viewpoint is now. There's only like 4 of us in the room and the guy. So I leave at the end of that meeting, which was on a Tuesday. The Friday, according to a meeting, my manager was off that week, so a different manager calls me in. And he's like, about that meeting you had? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, maybe that isn't the place to bring that up. I'm like, why? He's like, if you have a problem like that, come and talk to me. And I'm like, what will you do? He's like, well, go and talk to them. So why don't I just talk to them?
Let's just go out the middle.
You know what I mean?
Difference does it make?
So we ended up, I think he thought this was going to be a 5-minute meeting.
What that actually means is you tell me.
You shut up and
I'll
write it down and put it in the bin.
Right. And then we never have to have the conversation.
And I was like, look, it's not like I stopped him on the stairs.
Yeah.
It was in a meeting about that. So that's where I brought it up. Like, surely that's the best place to bring it up. And I'm like, so why are you bringing it up? Like, where did this come from? This is the same guy who said to me I shouldn't wear jeans. This is that same shorts. This is that same manager. And I was like, so why are you bringing it up? Is it come from somebody who was on my side of the table, or does it come from him? He's like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, well, if it's come from somebody my level, then they've just told you gossip, and you're like, he shouldn't do that. If it's come from above, then someone's complaining because they have a problem with me.
But won't come direct to you.
To me.
Because that's how management works.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not allowed to tell you that. I'm like, so it came from above then. Cool, okay.
Yeah.
And then we had some more conversation, and he was like, so next time you'll come to me? I was like, oh, no, next time I'll go to the CEO. Right. So that meeting ends, I come out and everyone's like, what the fuck was that? Because we don't get pulled in for meetings because you're meant to be on the phone, do you know what I mean? So I've just had an hour meeting with someone who isn't my manager. So everyone again, Skype, what's happening? And I was like, told them what happened. Then I had a week off work for my birthday. So I had the week off, went to Romania for 10 days, which was fucking tits. Came back and I went to see Bjork in London. So I booked half a day off work, drove to London to go and see Bjork, who was fucking amazing. Went back to my car and my driver's side window had been smashed of my crappy Ford Focus.
Yeah.
All they stole was sunglasses and loose change. So I'm hoping someone around London right now is looking just...
Well,
you know what I
people
mean?
like to look dapper.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
I was more pissed off that they broke my driver's side window.
Because it's cold on the way home.
It was November. It was November 19th, I think, if I remember correctly. And it was, I think it was -4 or something like that. And I had to drive from the O2 back home. So I had to get all the glass out my fucking passenger seat first, my driver's seat first. Called the police because I was like, look, I don't want you to fucking go and find them, but I just feel like I should report it for my insurance if I ever have to claim on it or whatever. And the woman was like talking to me on the phone. She's like, well, we can try and look around the area. I'm like, it's a fucking window. Don't worry about it. They haven't stolen anything of value. I've got a skateboard in my boot. They didn't fucking steal that. Like, you know what I mean? Or like my Beats headphones in my glove box. They just stole my sunglasses. But the thing is, I've got about 10 pairs of sunglasses in my car, so they went through them.
Oh, really?
They smashed the window. Nah.
They're not my style. You can imagine, was your rearview mirror moved?
It was all right, so he must have gone to the other window, which was still intact to see his reflection.
Maybe his wing mirror, maybe he's in the wing mirror.
Wing mirror,
So,
yeah.
No,
but yeah, so out of 10 pairs,
change.
he stole my Elvis sunglasses. So I've got like a pair of Elvis ones. All the other ones, all my Wayfarers and everything, still there. But they stole those ones and the loose change.
Well, I mean, sometimes thieves are just, they're a bit picky.
He knows what he wants.
He just knows his style.
That's why with me, it was just like, I can either be annoyed about it or it's just one of those things. The worst part was there was like a Mercedes in front of me, a BMW behind me. I was parallel parked. I'm like, why have you hit my car?
And stole a specific pair of sunglasses.
Surely those cars look like they're going to have more value in there. Because I walked up and down the street as well. Every other car was fine, just mine. But there you go. So I clear up all the glass. I drive home. I got home. I drove because I'm tall. I'm all the way back in my car, so that wind is just hitting you. It was fucking freezing. Had a great view out that window, but I got home about 4:30 in the morning. So I was like, I can either drive slow, so the wind isn't too cold, or drive fast to get there quicker, but be freezing. And I constantly changed my mind.
Like a dog sticks his head out the window.
The whole
gets a bit cold, comes back in, then goes, no, I quite like it.
Yeah, so I was like, the whole M40 back, I was like, either going 90 or going 40. And I get home and I send a picture of my window to my boss on Facebook. And I'm like, I'm letting you know now because there was no chance I'm going to be awake at 9 in the morning to let you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be late, like, because my car window got smashed. And she's like, don't worry about it. Well, she messaged me in the morning. I wake up. No, so I didn't go to work. I said I'll be late, but I couldn't find anyone to fix my car window. I called around and everyone was like, we can get one in tomorrow, but not today. And I was like, I'll go to work, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, fuck it, I'm just not going to go to work today. And I'll go in tomorrow. So I called up like 3 times and they're all in managers meetings. So every time I call up, I'm like, can I speak to my manager? They're like, just in a meeting. Well, just let her know I'm still trying to get my window fixed, blah, blah, blah. Day after I get my window fixed, driving to work, get there at 12 o'clock. And my boss, like I said, we had great banter. I hate that word, but we did. She's moody as fuck. I don't know what's up with her. And said to her, like, are we cool? Like, are you all right? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you got my message and blah, blah, blah. Like, I've got my invoice just in case to prove that I've had the window fixed. I've sent you a picture of it. And she's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, cool, okay. Friday, I get called into a meeting. And I'm thinking it's about my lateness.
Right.
You know I'm late as a human.
Same, yeah.
Right, but at work, if I was late by a minute or 2 minutes. It was
Yeah.
never half an hour late or half a day late. It was, and normally I was there. I was just like, hadn't logged in yet.
Yeah.
And these lates were like from June and July. And obviously it's November now. And I was on trial for 6 months in the probation. They passed me through probation even though I was late. But now all of a sudden
Now it's an issue, yeah.
So they were like, yeah, it's about your lates and blah, 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 blah. And then about the car window. And I'm like, well, I remember when I had my interview here, you all said that, you know, staff happiness and wellness is of paramount.
We're a family.
I've never missed a day of work. And there are other people who've gone off work because of stress and anxiety and whatever. Like, and I had a shitty period when I was working there and still carried on going to work. So I'm like, I had a legitimate reason. Like, why didn't you come to work and get your car fixed? It's like, I didn't want to leave my car with the fucking window open. And I thought you'd understand. So we have this meeting anyway. They're like, we're going to make a decision. So I leave thinking I'm going to get a warning, like a official warning. Come back in, they're like, we're letting you go. And I'm like, seriously, because of that? I don't think it was because of that.
It's just an easy excuse.
Because I'd had the meeting beforehand where I'd criticised the guy high up. I think he was like, you know what, anything he was wrong, get him out.
He was on the watch list.
And it never takes me long to do something wrong. Yeah. But what annoyed me was just the fact that I'd fucked up so many times. I just swore at customers. I gave someone a free product, a free hamburger. They had no warranty. Their warranty on the hamburger ran out. Yeah. And I was on the phone to this woman and she was like, you know what? I've had the worst that year was the worst year. My boyfriend left me. I lost my job and then my product broke.
My hamburger fell apart.
So I was like,
I'll give you a Big Mac.
And her warranty ran out 6 months before. And I was like, you know what? I got you, boo. So just put the recording on pause. I probably shouldn't say this because the company know who I am.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Prove I did it.
Fuck them.
And yeah, free products.
Free hamburgers for everyone.
Free hamburgers for life, yo.
So that's a good end to the story. You beat the big man.
In the long run.
In the long run. Morally.
Well, no. In the long run, I got the job I've got now because also, I didn't work there anymore.
You kind of gave that company a good reputation in her eyes, which is a bad thing. You know what I mean?
I was very helpful to some people. If you were nice on the phone, I was a fucking doll to you. If you were grumpy, I would make your life. My thought, because a lot of people hated like angry customers. So give them to me, I'm cool. So I'm like, if you're pissed off, your day's worse than mine already. Yeah. And no matter how much you piss me off, yours is worse because you have the product that's broken.
It's still going to get worse.
You know what I mean?
It's not going to get any better.
So I'm fine. Like, you bitch at me all you fucking want. Because at the end of it, I get to go, what a dumb motherfucker, and carry on with my life. Whereas you go, my thing's still broken.
And I've got to ring you back.
Yeah, and now I have to call him back because that guy was a prick. So send him my way. But because of that, I'll never work in an office again. Straight up, I will never, ever work in an office again.
I don't know.
I never say never.
I've worked in factories, car factories and stuff, but it's never really been customer facing. Like the only customer facing thing really was when I worked at Sky.
Yeah.
And that was a bit intimidating when you first started because I was the youngest engineer in the company.
How old
when
were
I
you at the time?
But you had to be 25 and I just turned 25.
Oh, right, okay. And you were installing and fitting.
And I was going into people's houses and everything else.
Being called Steven Gerrard.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
And but you had to kind of go in, like, with anything like that, you've, as a customer, you've already got an idea of how you want it to go, like where you want items, like, because you've got to go in, you've got to drill holes in walls, you've got to drill holes in their fucking skirting boards, you know what I mean? You've got to run wires, you've got to fuck the house up to an extent. So they've got it in their head that this is how they want it to look. You turn up and go, no,
can't do that.
No. I need my life to be easier. So unfortunately, we're going to have to put it right above your window on the front of the house. Yeah, but can't it go on the back on a pole? It could, but I won't be doing it today. So if you want it fitted today, we'll do it my way, or you just don't get Sky. They're your two options.
Percentage-wise,
really.
how many times do people go, okay then?
Every time, because people like Sky more than they like looking at the front of the house, it would seem. They just, after 2 weeks, you're like, oh, there's a dish there.
Sky is, for our non-English European listeners, is cable. It's like cable TV,
like,
essentially.
Yeah, satellite TV. Yeah. But, so you'd have to have a dish, you'd have to have, well, can't you just use white wire? What, in the living room? Yeah, but then you've got white wire on the outside. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we'll just use black then, yeah. Yeah, I know we will, because that's what I've got the most of on the van.
Can I ask, did you install your own Sky?
Yeah, I think so.
And how was it aesthetically for you compared to other people?
Mint. Hid up the side of the house. All the cables went into the loft. Everything. There was not a cable to be seen in my house.
Not one. Outstanding.
It's because I had the skills and the tools and the it's my house.
What's my rule?
You know what I mean?
What's my rule?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Clink your drink.
You've got to fucking...
I haven't.
Every house that but even so, afterwards, when I stopped working for Sky and I've moved house, and other engineers have turned up, the first thing I always tell them, I used to work for Sky, and they go, oh, you can see them. You see them go, oh, here we fucking go.
Yeah.
But what I usually do is give them an hand, give them a chuck, as you call it.
Give them a chuck.
Give them a chuck. So I'll like do certain parts for them.
You can do that with everything. Like, no matter if a plumber comes around, I have to be a plumber.
Yeah.
Just hope he doesn't ask you any questions. But you know what I mean? I know you can do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, if that's the case, you would be doing it yourself.
True.
Whereas Sky, you need the equipment.
That's true.
Whereas if you're a plumber, you just go and buy a pipe.
If it's someone, okay. If,
you know what I mean?
If someone's building, then I used to be a builder.
I used to be a builder. I used to build houses for a living. Did you? Yeah.
You do?
Well, parts. I technically build roads now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know what you do.
Groundworks.
I'll try not to pay attention to you as much as I can.
I literally do as little as possible. Always have done. I will always...
So I'm not like that. If I do a job, I always want to do it well.
I always, whenever I start, because I've worked BMW, Land Rover, Bentley, Jag, all these big car manufacturers, and because we was contractors, so you could potentially get moved around onto different jobs.
Yeah.
And wherever I worked, I would keep an eye out for the easy jobs. And it didn't matter if it was more money or not, even if it was the same money. If I can get away with doing as little as possible, potentially sitting down as well, fucking perfect.
I just get bored too easily.
I used to end up with, when we was at Jag, I was on off, what they call off track. So when you had a new car, like when they was building a new model, the people on the track couldn't build it very well. So there'd be bits missing or bits fitted wrong, and they would come off track, and that's where we would fix it, right? But part of the off track was once it got to a certain point, you'd have to go on the rolling road, and it'd have to be like the engine tested and the headlights tested and all that sort of stuff. I realised that the rolling road bit's quite cushy because you just sit in the car and rev fuck out of it, and then
everyone else is doing shit.
Yeah, well, people are because you can't listen to music and stuff in a factory anymore. You don't have the radios on or all that sort of stuff. So
health and safety.
You're in a car, the door's shut behind you. They don't know when that machine started or when it hasn't. You could sit there for a couple of minutes on each job. Then I found out that if you work nights, even less to do because there's no managers there.
I used to
Perfect.
I used to have a manager at one of my jobs. Again, I won't say which job, but I worked there for a couple of years, and I still don't think he knew what he was doing. I think he'd blagged his way all the way to the top.
Just
because I used to, I won't say what, because if he does listen, because I am mates with him, I don't want to kind of like make it sound bad. But he used to just hang around. I always remember just looking at him going, he's not working. And then I've been there for about 6 months. So I don't think I've ever seen him actually actively work. So I don't think he actually knew what he was doing. He just always looked like he was doing something.
Yeah, it's the best way.
So if ever I asked him, like, oh, can I borrow you for a minute? He'd be like, 1 minute, I'm just doing something. Like, no,
and then disappear.
No, you're not.
I used to, if you ever need to look busy anywhere, right? Especially, I used to do this a lot in the factories. carry a piece of paper around,
I
right?
thought you were going to say clipboard then, so...
Or a clipboard,
Yeah.
but usually just a piece of paper, right? Walk fast, because it looks like you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Or, if you want to stop and talk to someone, point at things.
I was just trying to say...
Always point.
If you have a piece of paper and you look at
the
something...
piece of paper,
look
point,
at a thing. Yeah.
Or point, nod, move on. You can do that all day.
No, you literally could.
When I first left school, I used to work in an engineering factory on the CNC machines. It was fucking soul destroying because you'd literally put a piece in, shut the doors, press the button. 30 seconds later, the doors would open. You'd take the part out. You'd put the part back in again. It was fucking soul destroying. It was like one little tiny piece for a diesel engine. That's all you'd build, right? But the machines, the CNC machines, would run at 100%.
Yeah.
I used to work nights. There was only me on this section. I'd turn that fucker up to 125% speed, so every piece would be done 25% faster, and I'd only have to do a certain amount per night. I think it was 6 till 6, 4 nights a week. 3 a.m. I was done. I was in Asda, walking around fucking Asda, 24-hour Asda, because I'd turned the machine up, I'd got my quota done, and I'd just chill for 3 hours.
Did you have to go back to clock out or anything?
Yeah, I'd literally just sit in the canteen or sit doing fuck all. I can walk around Asda for an hour.
I think I've never had a job where I can get away with it. I think that's why. Because I've worked in
but
bars.
you have to find your niche.
Yeah.
You have to work your way into that.
I've worked in bars most of my life, and you can't get away with it at the bar.
You can't do it there because you're always busy.
Right.
But I will always land on my feet in jobs that everyone, but how the fuck have you ended up doing this? I'll be like, look, you've either played the game or you get suckered into it. It's one of them.
The thing is, though, the way you have got charm, and I can see you talking yourself into those roles,
it's the same
and
as
talking yourself out of the shit should someone go, have you done anything? Yeah, mate, look at...
I'm not stopped.
Look at this paper. Look at that.
Look. But yeah, same as on building sites. I started working on building sites and I realised that people sat in machines done less.
Yeah.
So I went and got a forklift license.
I want that job.
So I went and got a forklift license.
I love that your level of observance at work is just to see who's the laziest.
Yeah.
Go.
He's getting away with
You're
it,
one of
so
those
why
people.
can't I?
I guarantee you're one of those people that will, when you need a shit, you'll wait until you're desperate and then go to the toilet.
No way.
But there are humans who are like almost shitting themselves because they're too lazy to go to the toilet.
No.
You
I
make it there
force
on
myself
time.
to go for a shit at work because then I'm getting paid for it.
Paid for it, right? Yeah.
Never shit on your own time. Life hack. Listen, kids. If you could get away with it,
That's
never
2
shit on
life
your own
hacks now.
time. 1, because you're getting paid.
Yeah.
And 2, because you're using their toilet roll so it doesn't cost you any money.
And they're water to flush.
See what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good
Life hack. I just think if you're getting away with it, why can't I?
Yeah, that's fair.
If that's your job and they're willing to pay you to do that.
But this is the thing, like, because it goes back to integrity, right? So I worked at UPS when I was saving to go traveling. I fucking hated it there. But they used to have like, it was like parcels per hour. So I literally worked on a conveyor belt and the wagons would come, clusterfuck them all onto you. You look at the barcode and throw it where it's going. So if it's Newcastle or Ireland or whatever. And they used to do PPH, which was like your parcels per hour. And I had to be number 1. I had to. There's something in me. There was one guy called Dwayne who was so fucking quick. He was like an octopus. He was like, and I was like, I've got to be as good as him.
Yeah.
And I never got as good as him, then he left. So I was like, now I'm the best because he's gone.
So yeah, I started my work career like that.
So no, but I worked there twice because I worked there, then went traveling, then came back and worked there again after I've been around Europe. And the reason I got the job the second time, because I was like, yeah, you were fucking rad the first time. When I left the first time, 3 managers came to say, you can come back whenever you want.
I very quickly learned that no one gives a fuck.
No, I know.
Literally the only person that cared about that was you.
Me, I know.
Only you.
And the things I saw, my team leader at the time, the last year, repaired my dad's roof.
Right.
And I saw him at the time. I got chatting to him, like, what you've been up to, blah, blah. And obviously me, because it'd been like 5 years until 6 years since I worked there. And was like, you were a great little worker, you were. He's like, I don't know fucking why, though. And I was like, I know. He's like, no one gave a shit.
No, exactly.
He's like, you fucking kill yourself. And I would. I remember I'd drive home. I'd get home for like 3:30 in the morning.
Exhausted.
I'd wait for 15 minutes before I got out of my car because I hurt that much.
Fucking hell. And then on the flip side, when I worked at BMW, they put me on what they called road test. So a new car would come off the end of the line. They had like a little mini test track at BMW. So you get in a little mini, like a little Mini Cooper, brand new, fresh off the line, and you travel and you'd have to go over like the bumps and then you go round a roundabout, then you'd have a speed test and a brake test. And then if anything rattled or made any noises or something didn't work right, you'd bring it back and you'd fix it. so many cars had so many rattles that I just couldn't quite pinpoint, so I had to keep going round and round and round. Sometimes it got that bad, I'd drive to the car park that had 2,000 other minis in it, park up, turn all the lights off and have a little kip in the back because it was that much. Where the fuck have you been? I cannot for the life of me figure out where this rattle is. Jump in, we'll go and have a ride. All right, and yeah, sound. So then they would jump in, I'd be like, can you hear that? And they'd be like, no. You're telling me you can't hear that?
And you're like, that's why I've got this job and you haven't.
I'm glad you've got in this car because it just needed fresh ears. That's what it is. It must have just been me. And then I just go and park the car up and get in the next one.
Fuck's
and
sake.
nobody said anything.
I remember I used to mate who...
I used to disappear for hours.
Yeah, I had a mate who worked at Jag, and they used to fly him to Barcelona so he could drive one of the new... They're not road ready yet.
Yeah, prototypes.
With a computer in it, with a computer in it, and just drive it from Barcelona back to Midlands.
Great job.
And then go, this is what's wrong with it. And they'd be like, cool, wait a week and we'll fly you out again.
It's a great job.
That's the best fucking job.
Boring though.
Yeah.
Because you're just driving all day. A friend of mine's a test driver, and depending on what hour shift you're on, so if it's an 8 hour or a 10 hour or a 12 hour, they have certain points.
The checkpoints you have to
and then
reach
literally you'll be like, right, you'll drive 4 hours, drive around that roundabout all the way around, and then just turn around and come back again. And that would be it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at least he was driving...
That's his test drive.
I mean, he was driving from Spain to here.
That's not too bad.
That's like a hell of a drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you get the flying and the fuck about.
Yeah, yeah. So for that...
But he would like drive to Cardiff, turn around and drive back again.
Yeah,
that would be the end
that's
of it.
where travel hacks come in.
Go on.
You've got a travel hack.
What's my travel hack?
Staying in a hotel. Good segue.
Good segue.
Great segue.
Good segue. We're nearly at the end as well, you know.
Oh shit! Yeah, we are.
We're like 45 minutes in. What the devil is referring to is the time I went viral.
You went viral. We have referenced before that we've both been on LadBible.
Yes. So
your story's better than mine.
I can't believe I've not told this.
I haven't told mine either.
So. Okay, so
your story's interesting though, because
right.
Well, you tell it.
So you're in a WhatsApp group with friends. Right.
No, but yeah.
Well, you're not because you don't use WhatsApp.
I don't like
WhatsApp. I just like iMessage because I'm
iMessage.
fucking old. So we was in a WhatsApp group and a friend of ours, mutual friend, he was staying away. He stayed away a lot for work. He was an engineer. And he was in a hotel, Premier Inn.
So it was in this country?
Yes. He was in a Premier Inn. And you know what it's like these days. Everyone's got a mobile phone. They need to charge their phone. You stay in a hotel. The first thing you do is, where do I charge my phone?
Yeah, you unplug the TV and put your phone charger in generally.
9 times out of 10, you don't have, these days at least, you don't have a plug next to the bed. Some you do, some you don't. You know if you've got
it depends on your standard of hotel.
Exactly.
Like
if you're staying in a good hotel, then...
They'll have the USB plugs.
Sometimes they do,
the
if
wall.
you're extra special.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, he hadn't got one by the side of his bed. There was 2 plugs in the whole room. And they was, you always get your little table with your tea and coffee and the TV on and all that sort of shit. And the mirror usually is there as well. There was 2 plugs. The TV was plugged into one. Usually you plug the kettle in the other one. That was the only plug in the room. So he decided, as a bit of a joke, to move his whole bed against the wall to put it next to the plug. So he actually messaged saying, if the plug won't come to me, I'll go to the plug.
Right.
And he moved his bed right. Okay, it was blocking the whole room. He couldn't get past to get to the toilet, so you had to
If you can find a photo of it, just send me. I'll put it up on the screen.
Fucking not a chance. But he had to roll off the back of the bed to get into the toilet and all that sort of stuff because it was just in the middle of the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we all had a bit of a laugh at a joke about it, and that was the end of it. But I, for whatever reason, me being me and me being with Facebook, posted this picture to Premier Inn on Facebook, like
to
on
their
page,
right,
saying why in, I can't remember, 2018, I think it was.
I think it was older than that.
Why in 2018, 2017, whatever the year was, are we still having, do we still not have plugs by the side of the bed? Didn't think nothing of it. Premier Inn never replied. That was the end of it. About 3 or 4 days later, I got an inbox off somebody saying, I've seen your post to Premier Inn. Think it's pretty funny. Do you mind doing an interview for... It was like some local newspaper up north, like the Macclesfield News or something like that. Right, I don't know what it was.
You're massive in Macclesfield.
I am now. And I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. So she rang me. No, she went in to ring me. So I put a message back in the WhatsApp group saying, look, this has gone a bit further than what anyone expected. What do we do? Like, because it wasn't me that moved the bed. But she wants to interview me because I posted the picture.
Yeah.
Everyone went, nominate you. You've got to do the interview. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, fair enough. So she rang me and I just lied about everything.
Right.
About my age, about my job, just bullshit.
While you were there.
Because why not? Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they put me down as businessman and all this shit. And it ended up as a little thing in the local newspaper, and that was the end of it. A couple of days after that, I woke up to messages from Australia, America, all around the world going, is this you? And I'm like, what the fuck? All the local press had picked up on it.
Yeah.
Then all the national press. I was in the Independent.
Really?
The Independent.
I never met the Independent.
The Daily
I
Mirror,
love the Independent.
The fucking Sun, the Star. Every newspaper outlet had got me doing this thing. Right? Then LadBible obviously.
That you didn't even do.
I didn't even do. And then LadBible picked up on it. Then it was like LadBible America, LadBible Iceland, LadBible Norway, all these different. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
LadBible Djibouti.
And they took a load of pictures off my Facebook.
Really?
Like, look at the Hoover Dam and shit like that.
This well-travelled man.
Like, what the fuck?
He's found awesome hotels all over the world.
It's like local bit, so-and-so, I think I said I was like 22 or something like that. 22-year-old businessman. Genius life hack, right? LadBible branded it a genius.
No.
Genius finds way around phone charging issue or something like that.
Genius would take an extension lead.
Wow. Funny you should mention that because every single comment on LadBible was hate.
Really?
Every single one.
It's LadBible.
I mean,
not only is it LadBible, it's a comment section on
it's like-
LadBible.
Well, I mean, this is what you call a genius. Most people just take an extension lead. Call that a genius. Is that what we all branding genius as these days? Just hammering me.
Let's just clarify. You didn't call yourself a genius.
I didn't even do the fucking thing.
You didn't say, well, you didn't do the thing, nor label yourself as
not
genius.
Not at all. LadBible done that.
LadBible.
They just asked me why I done it.
They stitched you right up.
They said, why did you do it? And I just said it was a bit of a joke between the WhatsApp group. You can't charge your phone by the side of the bed, so I moved the bed to the plug. That was the end of it. It was a bit of a laugh, and everyone was going, I find this really disrespectful to the maids because they can't get in the room because you've blocked, it's a fire hazard. Fucking all this shit on there. And it was fucking mental, absolutely mental. But it was in all the newspapers and everything, and I ended up getting on LadBible, which is kind of my claim to fame.
I've just found my LadBible, LadBible one, yeah.
Quick one.
Go on.
After that, I applied to do a TV show, right? And
did you put that on your CV?
No, but when I'd been racing cars for 6 years at this point, right? And I applied to go on a TV show, and when I went in for like the audition or whatever, they actually said, we found you. If you type my name into Google,
really?
The biggest thing that comes up is man moves fucking bed rather than my 6 years of fucking racing. None of that mattered. It was genius moves bed. I was like, for
that's your legacy.
Sake. That's it.
That's your legacy.
Literally, that's as far as
that's your legacy.
I peaked.
This podcast will never be as big as that story got.
I peaked. This podcast is never getting in the Independent.
You hit LadBible Norway. You know what I mean? Like,
we are never getting in the Independent unless it's for bad reasons.
Yeah. Well, that's an outstanding story, though.
Yeah, that's mine.
More so because it's not your story.
It's nothing to do with me.
But it somehow became your story.
Absolutely.
And became such a better story through it being your story as well.
But then we left it 12 months. I never said nothing to anyone that it wasn't my story. Right. And then 12 months later, when it comes up on your memories. I
didn't know it wasn't your story.
No, exactly.
Until this.
We told nobody. And then on 12 months later, on the anniversary of going viral, it came up in your memories and I came clean and I said, look,
that's what I found out.
I just want to let people know it was a friend of mine, Dan Hill, if you listen or watch. It was him that done it. Blagged you all. Sorry. And that was kind of the end of it.
Your legacy isn't even your legacy. I was actually
talking about it the other day to someone. Remember we was talking about LadBible. I can't remember. I was like, I've been on LadBible. I was like, really? And I recounted this whole story. That's kind of where...
See, when I was on LadBible, so...
I didn't even know that you'd been on LadBible.
Yeah, so
and I don't know this story.
A bit of backstory. I've been in a relationship for 4 years.
Yeah.
My relationship had ended in about July time. This is October. So it's only been a couple of months. Also, though, in that past year, Romelu Lukaku had been on loan at West Brom.
Right.
And he was amazing for us. The lowest we were all season was 9th. We finished 8th. I'm a big West Brom fan. Was a season ticket holder. And his loan spell had ended. He returned back to Chelsea. and then gone to Everton on loan for the season.
So you were sad.
I was devastated,
Yeah.
especially if you know about what happened at the time. Because on transfer deadline day, that was September window or August window, it looked like he was coming back to us. And I remember tweeting like, "Fucking hell, it's going to be embarrassing if he doesn't come. I have to go back and delete everything." And then he went to Everton. And I was like, "Fucking great." So he hadn't come, but also my relationship had just ended. Right. So my post was, when relationships end and people move on, it's never easy. You see that other person you adored so much with other people, happier, better than they were when they were with you. Such an important part of your life. You hear things from your friends, see things on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's hard. And then when you see them doing things that they used to do with you with someone else, it breaks your heart. I just want to let that person know this isn't getting easier.
Right.
I miss you, Romelu Lukaku. So, the best thing about it was on Facebook, the whole thing came out, but his name was Seymour. Right, so
I miss you, Seymour.
just right, so it was like, I miss you. It was like, and the thing is, I'm not. You followed me on social media, my whole fucking social media life. I don't get personal on there.
No.
Period. I get political, I get opinionated, but I never get personal on there, no matter what it is. And all the comments, all the comments were like, "We thought you'd broken. Like we thought it was like, fuck. This is like, are you okay?" No, it's just a footballer.
Who's this Seymour guy?
Yeah, he's a Seymour guy. But yeah, so and I don't know if Lukaku. I think Lukaku saw it because I didn't send it to LadBible. So one of my mates did.
Right. Okay.
So they screenshot it and sent it over, and then it got posted. I was the Lukaku lad.
Lukaku.
That's what they called me. And then loads of other people started messaging me on Twitter and stuff like that. That's fucking outstanding.
How long ago was this?
2000. When was it? 13, I think.
Oh, okay. Lukaku.
Yeah, it was 2013. So I was Lukaku that. But like I said, the context of it was because I'd been in this relationship and it had broken up. So everyone just thought I was talking about my ex.
Yeah.
But
And unless they click Seymour, they still wouldn't know.
Well, yeah. But all I cared about was Romelu Lukaku. I'm still not over it. I'm still.
Do you think he's seen it?
Yeah, no. Apparently, he. I can't remember if he liked it or retweeted it.
Right. Okay.
Because it was years ago, anyway. But yeah, no. I think there was like a few people tagged him in it on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure he saw it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's why I got put on LadBible.
Lukaku
that. It was hashtag Lukaku that as well, if I remember correctly.
I wonder if all them comments are still on my post. They've got to be.
Of course there will be, because mine are. Like, if I go back and find it now, because that's just a screenshot of it from the LadBible post. But if I went back and found it, they're all.
I'll have to read some back out. But there was fucking
We'll have
savage.
to find them for the visuals.
Just absolutely savage. Just rip me to bits. Rip me to bits.
The thing is, like, LadBible, you're a top fan.
Top fan.
Fucking. I got offered that little diamond thing, and I was like,
the comment section is better. Is 100% always better than the actual story. The story on LadBible is bullshit. There are a bunch of fucking idiots.
It's all
there are a bunch of fucking idiots. Half the time, it doesn't even make sense. And you go into the comments, and it's fucking way better. The comment section.
I can't do comment
makes
sections
my day.
anymore. I read the top 3 comments. I generally read to find if there's a comment of what I'm thinking of already. You know what I mean? If someone's put a story up or something, and you have that initial gut reaction to it, I just scroll to see if someone's either posted that or the popcorn.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I look for.
There was one the other day, and it was some TikTok YouTube star, 17 girl. She's come out as gay, and everyone's saying, "Oh, well done," and this, that, and the other. And apparently, it's news. But it's on there, and one of the top comments was, "Really proud of you. Well done. Hopefully, this is an inspiration to all of the kids." Your age. I mean, she's 17. It's not like she's 10. But this is inspiration because she's got like 3.5 million followers on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, the comment directly under that was, "You're a disgusting human being." I was like, what the fuck? Click on a profile, and the very profile picture is "I heart Jesus." I was like, "Oh, there we go."
That's why.
That's exactly.
We
don't need to know anymore.
That's it.
We don't need to know anymore.
I always see, like, you know, because obviously the Donald Trump thing, and then Greta Thunberg put a tweet out, which was what he said about her. Yeah. And all the comments are like, "on board with this girl," and blah, blah. I'm like, she's just turned 18.
Just turned 18.
And she's done more in her life
than
I have, like, in terms of what she's trying to accomplish.
And way more what the president of America did for 4 years.
I'm just like, who's hating on a kid for anything ever at all?
Comment sections, they are...
YouTube comment sections are the worst.
They are. I don't go on YouTube that much, but
it takes a special person to leave a comment on anything.
Facebook...
But you like leaving comments.
I like replying to the comments. I
Is that
never
what it
go out
is?
of my way to leave a comment.
If you ever leave a comment, it's always satirical though. It's always, I see your comments
Always
sometimes.
taking
And
the
I'm
piss.
just like, it's literally just like someone bite. Someone bite.
Please, it's either responding to a moron
Yeah.
or it's fishing for
Yeah.
a moron to comment.
No, it is completely.
Always, all it ever is. It's never a serious comment. It's never like genuine interest.
Because like we tag each other and stuff, I think we have probably the most interaction with each other's accounts.
So it comes up.
So yours always
every
comes up
time.
first now.
Yeah.
So I'll always, no matter what it is, I'll just see like, oh, Jay Carter commented on and have a look and go, oh yeah, he's fishing.
A lot
He's
of people. It's usually that. Yeah.
He was taking a shit and was just like,
Yeah, it's usually
forcing
exactly
it.
that. It's usually exactly that. I get into trouble at work a lot because I spend too much time on the toilet. Usually because I'm arguing with someone in the comment section.
That's
all
why.
it is.
But that's what, honestly, like I remember, like I said to you on the podcast before, I got to the point where someone posted something one day and I went to reply and I was just like, if I do, that's my day.
It's gone. Yeah,
That's my whole day.
I have to stop myself now.
So, and I wrote it out.
really do.
I wrote it out and deleted it. And there's a few people who I do that because there's a couple of people on my Facebook who are very opinionated, and like I am,
Like me.
but there's no, but their opinion about everything,
Right. Okay.
and it's always wrong.
Right.
right?
Okay.
Like, and I'm not saying wrong in terms of I'm right. It's on the ethical side of wrong
Yeah.
or the moral side of wrong. And I always want to like but I'm just like, do I really? Am I that? Just hide them, just delete them. Like, how much time do I want to invest in this?
Yeah. See, I have
And
to
more so,
be careful.
they're not going to change their mind.
That's the other thing. That's what I was on about that one where it said, I heart Jesus. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say, that shit's only going one way.
It's like
only
if
going
I
one
sat
way.
down with someone from the KKK and we just battled it out, you're never going to change my mind and go, yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean? There's never going to be a point where I'm like, okay, cool, go get those robes on and go burn some crosses.
She was like, literally, I heart Jesus. And I was like, it's
yeah.
disgusting. It's disgusting. Getting kids. That's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Never stop shutting up.
Just shut up.
Just never stop shutting up.
Yeah.
One quick thing we want to talk about,
Oh, go on. We forgot.
because I want to talk
Forgot
about
last week as well.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about last week and then we didn't. So this week I want to just bring
Tell
it
me
up
the story.
very
You briefly
quickly.
told me the story.
So last Thursday there was an election in Uganda.
Uganda. Okay.
In Uganda. So the president of Uganda is called Museveni. So he's called M7 because it's Museveni. He's been in power for 35 years.
Jesus Christ.
So he got put into power in 86 and he's ran.
Legit or
I think he was legit the first time,
right?
maybe the second. But since then, he's won 6 terms now.
Right.
He'd won 5. There was an election in Uganda and his opposition candidate was a man
Okay.
by the name
Yeah.
of Bobi Wine.
Bobby Wine. Right.
Bobi Wine.
Bobby Wine.
Bobi Wine is known as he's a musician, he's a singer, he's a performer who's turned to politics.
Do you think Kanye West is
His inspiration. It might be, yeah. It could be. He's like, if Kanye can do it.
Or is Bobby Wine Kanye's inspiration? I'm going to go with that one.
Who came first?
I'm going with that stuff.
Bobi Wine.
First, Bobby Wine or
Yeezy.
yeah.
Yeah. So he ran as opposition. There's a lot of like a big younger generation there now who were swaying the vote massively towards Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I'd want him to be my president just so I
because
could
his
say
name's
that
Bobby Wine.
every time.
But the thing is that morally, ethically, he's on the right side of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Whereas Museveni, he's just become he's a dictator to the point of like he's been Uganda's leader for 3 decades plus, 3.5 decades, and just lost touch and now just wants power. And I think there's been elections where people just haven't run against him.
Whereas Bobby Wine is all about the music.
Right, he's all about the love.
It's
right?
all about that feeling, man.
Uganda banned the internet for 5 days. Just banned it, all social media,
Just turned it off.
for 5 days.
Flick the switch.
Yeah, just like someone just went, no social media.
No Bobby Wine on
No
YouTube.
Bobby Wine. No more.
Is his music any good?
I haven't heard his music. I've heard him sing his,
Has he got a theme song?
like, I don't think he has.
Please tell me he's got a theme
We should
song.
make him one. We should get him on, man. We should get Bobby Wine on. But I think he sang like his, you know, when you have like, this is my mission statement, this is what I want to do. He just sang it. I'm pretty sure.
a guy.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Let's try and get him on.
We should try and get Bobby Wine on.
They speak English in
I think he's
Uganda, don't they?
yeah, I think he's in demand quite a lot now.
Yeah.
I don't think English is the first language yet, but they do speak English.
Yeah.
But I might be
So
wrong
he'll
on that.
understand the Bobby Wine.
Yeah, absolutely. And he'll appreciate it.
I think he
Because he's a
was.
musician.
Yeah.
But then he was put in, so he lost. I think he
Bobby
won,
Wine did.
Bobby Wine lost. He won 35% of the vote. Everyone is saying that it was rigged, massively rigged. So obviously with all the scandal in America with theirs, this one it's more plausible that it was rigged.
Yeah, especially since the other guy's been in for 35
Right,
years.
and now he's been under house arrest for 10 days now.
Bobby Wine has?
Bobby Wine has been under house arrest for 10 days. No food.
I'd imagine he has like a lot of ladies to take
Well,
care of.
he's got
as
a
well.
wife, and apparently his wife went out to get some food from their land, and soldiers just beat the shit out of her.
What?
It's serious shit. Like, it's really fucked up what's happening there.
Maybe we shouldn't get Bobby Wine on.
Maybe we
Just
should.
It's like a serious turn.
Give him a platform. But I got to the point where, honestly, it was like, if he dies,
Civil War.
it wouldn't be that surprising.
35% Civil War.
35% civil war. Well, probably more. But they can't, because the thing is, so many African countries are just like ran by dictators, and it's purely down to colonization. When they went to Africa and split up the countries, they just went, well, there's a tribe, so let's just put a border right in between them.
Oh, I see.
So now you're from Togo and you're from Ivory Coast. Go fight.
Right.
Whereas before, they were all
They were
one.
friends.
So that's how it was all split up. It was split up purely for the purpose of creating division within those countries, which is why there's so much war in Africa now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's all really fucked up. But Bobby Wine
Want to change that?
wants to change that.
Give the man a platform. Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine.
Hop on. The
He deserves to
podcast.
hop on. Yeah, right.
The podcast.
But yeah, so I'll keep you updated with that and find out what happens with Bobby Wine.
I would like to maybe see if Bobby Wine's got a Twitter account.
Yes.
Well, let's hit him up.
That was a thing.
Do you think?
Just okay. Well, yeah, I will. I'll message him. That's Bobby Wine.
What a guy.
Honestly.
He looks like a G.
Well, doesn't he though? Doesn't he though?
I want him to wear the most flamboyant outfit as well.
If
If he's not wearing a hat, like a old school gangster tip your hat,
oh, okay, like a Peaky Blinders
whatever they're
kind
called.
of.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what they're called.
Like a fedora or fedora.
No,
what are they
fedora's
called?
more of a hat.
Yeah, I want him to wear
one of
though.
those.
Yeah, like a
Okay.
proper top hat and tails.
All right.
I want him to have a little cocktail stick out of his mouth.
What are you doing
And
if
be
he's
sophisticated as
bringing
fuck.
all this to the table? What are you doing?
There's nothing I can do.
There's nothing you can do to match him.
No,
No flamboyancy whatsoever on your behalf.
no,
Okay, fair enough.
no.
You don't want to steal the limelight from Bobby Wine.
You know what they say? If you spell swag backwards, you know what it spells?
Gauze.
Bobby Wine. That's what happens.
Thank you for tuning in. On that note, are we done? Are we over an hour?
Yeah, man, we're gone.
I want to carry on
We're
talking,
gone.
but
We're gone. We're done and we're gone.
Remember, sweep your cars before you drive. Be nice to each other.
Did we snow? We'll be gone by the time this podcast's over.
Yeah, but it
probably.
snows again. It's not never going to snow again. Global warming's a thing, man. Winter is
If
coming.
it brings more snow, then good.
Winter is coming.
I'm all for global warming.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember, quickly. Last week I did say I was going to be on my friend's podcast. It came out the day after.
Oh, did it?
But yeah, so I hadn't really given him a proper plug. It's called Mixtapes with Mike. So Mike Driver, I've known him for 24 years. He's the one who couldn't say my surname, which is how we got to the story of my lineage. But yeah, so it's on Spotify and Apple and everywhere else audio podcasts live. He basically he's a stand-up comedian. He gets guests on. They pick 10 songs. He makes a mixtape and then he speaks about the songs with them, why they've made those choices and stuff. They're about 40-50 minutes long, and then there's a link to the Spotify where you can listen to the playlist if you like it. So I did one with him in June last year. It came out last week. I've listened back to it. I really liked it. Like, I've forgotten most of the things I've
He
said.
needs to fucking speed up his editing by
On
the
the
sounds
songs
of it.
I picked well.
Fucking hell, he's worse than you.
He just whoa. I'm next day.
He's 7 months
I'm
later.
straight out the
Jesus
gate.
Christ.
But it's
Be only good having Bobby Wine on, would it?
I don't. To be fair, I think it's because he had better guests on. So he was like, "I'll throw him back until I'll get
I'm
the
glad
good
you put
ones
this at
out."
the end of our podcast, though, so people have listened to ours. So if you want more devil,
Want more devil?
no Archer, just the
And
devil.
not only that, but I get to talk about music, which I don't really do on here
No, because it's
because we
you poo-poo
differentiate.
my
It's
choices.
because you always talk about five.
There's nothing wrong with fucking five.
Let's not get into this again. Let's not do this again. I'll put a link in the comments below.
And if anyone wants to tweet Bobby
the
Wine
description,
with a
Bobby
link to
Wine.
our podcast, please
Yes. Yeah, if enough people ask him,
do. I think so.
he'll come on.
If our 7 viewers,
If you book them,
they will come.
is that on record? Just
We're going. Peace out.
thank you very much. Peace.
Bye.
Love. Go lick everybody. Bye.